Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Draft Day Sports Pro Football 2023. And I've got a squeaky chair, sorry about that, with the Detroit Lions. And I'm recording earlier than I normally do. So if I sound tired, it's because it's like 8 in the morning, 8:15 or something. I don't normally record at this time of the day, but I got a lot of time today. It's the one day this week where I actually have some time to do it, so I'm going to do it. And it is time for the Lions off season. So let's get started, right? Without any further ado, let's advance to the off season and see if we can improve our Lions squad here this year. So I guess we go to season start. Time for the staff signing. Let's look at our staff. We get 2.5-star offensive coordinator, 2.5-star defensive coordinator. Let's see if there's anybody better out there. Not really. Not particularly. Can we hire from, I spelt his name wrong, Sanderers. Can we hire from other teams? Like, is that a thing? Just GMs, head coaches. Do we want any of these guys? I don't think so. Like all these guys that say 0, I think want to stay where they are. So I think we just stick with what we have and hope that none of our coaches get poached. Let's make sure. Yep, we lost them both. Game, man. We lost both our offensive coordinator and our defensive coordinator. Okay. So, he wants 5.5 for one. He wants Dustin Archie. Anthony Peak, a 5. See, I don't like I would prefer somebody who likes a 3-3. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? Robert Chavez, does he want to? Oh, we got to do it this way. So, pro style, $7 million. Yeah, I can't afford that. Let's offer Anthony Peak and then defensive coordinators. Oh, wait. I did that backwards. Okay, so he is. Let's offer him the defensive coordinator job, and then Jimmy Gillis. I mean, he's really good, but super expensive, man. These are all internal hires. How do we hire away from other teams? Can we go to like Green Bay's? Like, can we just look at their staff and hire somebody from? Yeah, like how are they able to hire to hire from me, but not the other way around? All right. Okay, so I guess then we just go like this and we just do an internal hire. Why does it not give me the option to do an internal hire? I got to do an internal hire from this list, I guess. Let's hire somebody young, maybe he has a chance to grow. Mike Ramos, I guess. See if we can bring in Anthony Peak, I guess. Go from there. All right, so they both signed with us. That's good. Oops. make sure that they didn't immediately get poached. I don't know if that's a thing, but oh, I'm on the wrong team. On the wrong team. There we go. All right. So we have some decisions to make because we don't have a lot of free agent space. We're gonna have to cut some people, potentially try to move some people. There are never any RFAs, so I don't even know why we look. We will continue. Bear with me just a second here, guys. All right. So RFA 2. So in the background, I'm actually simming my Franchise Hockey Manager 9 playthrough, so it stops every once in a while, and I need to go in and take a look at it. So all right, contracts. So we are at 2. Yeah, we're actually over the cap. We're actually over the cap. So yeah, let's trade some players. Let's get under the cap here and see what's available for free agents. So who wants a tight end? Yeah, first team I go to is Atlanta with Kyle Pitts. Dawson Knox. Now they're over the cap as well. The Bears have Cole Kmet, but Schultz is better. How close are we to Schultz? A lot more. Can we get a third and a fourth? No, not just a third. Feel the deal is close. Okay, what if I gave you back a seventh? Tad more. All right, what if I gave you back a sixth? What if I gave you my sixth? All right, cool. So we get a third round pick for Dalton Schultz and a seventh. So now we have a first, 2 seconds, and 2/3. What else do we want to do trade wise? Who else needs to move? Who else do we want to move? Lance is in the last year of his deal. Okuda didn't play at all. Why didn't he play at all? Oh, that was last year, right? I'm like, okay, he did play 17 games. He was okay. Justin Evans, we re-signed. Robert Chang was our first round pick. Kazir White, he had a pretty good year, but yeah, he is our third highest rated linebacker. Keanu Neal, I think we trade him. Yeah, I'm looking for other linebackers. Derek Barnes is super cheap. Yeah, so I think let's go to Keanu Neal. Let's see whatever we can get for Keanu Neal. Get another $7 million. Tampa, yeah, sure. I don't care. No, let's try to trade him to an AFC team. Let's try to get some of these players out of our division. So Keanu Neal for like a fifth and a sixth. A lot more. So Neal's got like 0 value. Just a tad more. I want next year's fifth. I want to try to get some value in next year because next year we only have a first, 2/3, a fourth, and a sixth. So I need to get back into next year a little bit. Ravens 7th. All right, that's fine. That is fine. So we move that contract. Let's see. How did White do last year? 64 tackles, 9 tackle for losses. I mean, he was pretty okay. I mean, he's got the high tackle rating, which I love from a linebacker. So Brown, Edwards, and White, I feel like it's a pretty decent linebacker core. So, and wide receiver wise, we have Metcalf, who's our highest paid. Devonta Smith is our number 2. Jamison Williams is higher rated, but he's only 23. Devonta Smith is how old? He's 25. He's got better hands. He's not as quick, but he had a good year. I mean, 53 catches, 574 yards. I'll take it. Yeah, like this isn't bad money down here. Like I don't care about these, but some of these contracts, it's a lot of money. How was Kazee last year? Is that worth? He had 72 tackles, 4 picks. Yeah, I mean, Jeff Okuda. So that gives us $11 million in cap space. So let's see but we have to have enough money to sign our draft picks, right? And we're gonna have some pretty high picks. Okay. So there's some talent here. I mean, I can't sign Deshaun Watson. I just can't do it. I would love to, but I spent the 2023 season in Arizona through 20 touch. Yeah, there's something wrong with the stats. Again, I love the game, but the stats don't add up. Like you're telling me Deshaun Watson threw 22 picks last year. Okay. DJ Moore wants 18. Dak Prescott wants 20 million. He didn't play at all last year. I mean, do we bring in someone like Dak and try to trade Trey Young or Trey Lance rather? David Long, Gabe Davis wants $23 million. I don't want to pay him that much. A reasonable contract for Bentley. 92 tackling. We could go heavy into linebackers here, and then we could move Kazir White and only have about a $4 million. I mean, depending on what we get him for, if we get him, that is. Let's try to trade Kazir White again. Or not again. We didn't trade him before, but let's try to trade Kazir White to Jacksonville. Nope, not Jacksonville. To the Raiders. Nope. To the Rams have a lot of cap space. Dolphins don't have enough. Patriots have enough. All right, you can take Kazir White off our hands, and you can give us a 3rd and a 4th next year. A lot more. You can give us a 3rd next year. Feel this deal is close. All right, so next year we have a 1st and 2 thirds. So can we get your 2nd and give you back a 3rd? Okay. So we trade Kazir White to the Patriots, and we get a 2nd-round pick next year, and we give up a 4th. So now we're up to about $18 million in cap space. So what do we have from a? Yeah, we can't even scout yet. We can't yet. We can look, but we got Ronald Reynolds is a top 10. He's the only QB in the top 10. A-Speed. Not a great quarterback draft, which tells me that he's probably going to go 1st overall, knowing the game. So do we continue to add to our defense by bringing in someone like Bentley? And then, because these guys aren't signed long term, and those are reasonable contracts. And that's 11 per, 11 per. That's 1.18 per. I mean, if we could get Bentley for a similar deal, Watson wants 30. Yeah, I can't afford either of those guys right now. Just looking to see if there's anything that maybe, like, it doesn't make any sense for me to sign a 30 plus year old 30 plus year old player. It just doesn't. We're just not that close. So I think let's get through the draft and then see what we have on the second half in free agents. So let's just sim days. So Cooper Kupp signs with the Eagles. It's still just Cooper Kupp. Okay. So here we go. The Texans signed Amari Cooper. Kenny Clark and Jadeveon Clowney go to the Patriots. Miles Jack to the Eagles. Juwan Bentley signed with the Rams 1 year at $14 million. I could have done that. All right. Trey Henderson to the Bears. Okay, so none of those players we were looking at have gone anywhere yet. So I mean, the potential exists for a Dak Prescott or something like that. So, all right. So top 10, we definitely are going to want to look here and here. Nathaniel Wood. Yeah, I mean, we will look at all of these guys because again, a top 10 tight end. I don't think that's really a thing, but Richard Hess will take a look at. Offensive line, we're not in terrible shape. First round wide receiver from Delaware. Love it. Strong safety out of Purdue. I like that. Oh, we have so many points. Do we just auto scout? I mean, I don't want to just auto scout, but that's so many points. All right, let's look at quarterbacks. We'll look at all of the quarterbacks. Frankly, we'll just look at all the quarterbacks. Running backs. Yeah, I mean, we may need to make a move here coming up. So let's take a look at top couple of rounds. Let's see, maybe the top 3 rounds. Because our offense was really bad. I don't care about fullbacks. Skill positions, we've already looked at the 3. We'll go, I guess, to the end of the second round. No, we'll go, again, so many points. So let's just use them. And then I want to build a defense, man. I really want to build a defense. So let's scout all of these linebackers through the 4th round. So we have a lot of picks in those first 3 rounds, right? We got a first. I think we have 5 picks in the first 3 rounds, a first, 2 seconds, and 2 thirds. Does that sound about right? We picked up the key defensive tackle. I think we're good at defensive end, but yeah, so let's just do these guys here for the first and second rounds. Free safeties. Yeah, we are going to need, if we can get a replacement for Kazee here, I'm all for that. Same thing at strong safety, if we can get a replacement for Geno Stone. All right, so we still have a bunch of points. Let's just go all positions. We're not going to take an offensive lineman in the top 10. We're not going to take a tight end in the top 10. But maybe those tight ends fall, and then we can move Hawkinson. I don't know. Thomas Goddard, he's a 24-year-old defensive end. That's fine. We'll scout him. The linebacker scouted. We'll scout this cornerback. These cornerbacks. Tackle guard, cornerback, sure. So skill positions and defense, I think, is what we're going after here, is what it looks like. We are going to need a tight end. That's we only have one on the roster right now. That's TJ Hawkinson. James Bailey, a cornerback out of Ohio State. I saw New Hampshire. George Swain. We got to scout George Swain because I got to represent UNH. Limestone College. I love it. We're going to scout the guy out of Limestone College just because. We got a strong safety here. Defensive end from Alabama. Tight end, defensive end, tight end, defensive end. All right, we're almost out of points. Let's scout this guard or this running back from TCU. And sure, this guy and this guy. All right. So scouting is done. Let's go ahead and advance and get to the draft. All right, draft time. All right, so it's the Giants, Falcons, Steelers. So if we go to the war room, yeah, Ronald Reynolds, I mean, that's the guy we want. Or is it? I mean, the ratings have dropped. We scouted him. He looks pretty good, but he doesn't look great. So I think let's just see what that pick looks like. Let's go back to the draft. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's go back to the draft. So they go with the defensive tackle, James Clark, 80 overall. Falcons are next. They take Kenneth Cooper, an 80 overall defensive tackle. The Steelers now, they take Reynolds, 83 overall. All right. 84 accuracy, 78 speed. He looks like he would have been pretty damn good. All right. So now it is our pick. They want us to take Richard Hess. I don't want to take Richard Hess at all. At all. We got Nathaniel Wood. C speed, C hands. It says C speed, C hands, but breakaway speed. Glenn Stevens. Linebacker. Marcus Bruce. Nathaniel Wood, 6'2", 229 pound, 32.2 rating, which tells me he's probably low 80s. I have a thing. Let's talk to... I want to look at the draft. Recap. Any other teams have... Anybody have 2 first-round picks? Vegas, Houston, Carolina, Seattle, Chicago, Arizona, Rams, Patriots, Colts, Eagles, Broncos. I don't think anybody has 2 first-round picks that I'm seeing. I mean, let's see if we can trade down. Let's talk to Carolina. Do you want to move up if you give me your first and your second? A lot more. Chicago, give me your first and your second for my first. Feel the deal is close. So if I give you my 5th, okay. So we're going to move back in the draft a couple of spots and pick up another second-round pick. So let's just go to our next pick. All right, so it went Bruce, 76 overall. There's Wood, 85. Yeah, 85 overall wide receiver. I probably should have pulled the trigger there, but that's okay. All right, now it's our pick. Thomas Goddard, 32 rated overall. I mean, do we go with another defensive end? Glenn Stevens. They still think we should take Glenn Stevens. I don't think he's going to be as good. I like the idea of Goddard, but what does our... Let's exit here for a second. What does our defensive end situation look like? We've got 76, 2 young players, Hutchinson and Jones. I mean, it's not terrible. It's not. I think defense is really where we need to be focusing. I think that might be the pick. He's 24 though. Leandro Canfield, rating of 30.5. Stanfield's there next round. That might be an option. I think we take Thomas Goddard here, the 24-year-old. Let's see what that looks like. 75 overall. Not terrible. So we have 3 pretty good defensive ends that we can rotate. It's probably not great, but we'll survive. All right, so let's see what we have now. And no surprise, the quarterback is gone. The quarterbacks are always gone. They want us to take Roberto Carroll. Physique, athleticism, doesn't have very good speed. UTEP. Go Pasquale Doyle, 28.7. Good technique. Marcus Ramirez, 28.4. Earl Norris, where is he? Second round pick, 27.6. I don't like that at all. 24. 26. Yeah, Alan Carroll's probably the best option. He's got the highest rating, and he's the youngest out of Penn State. Ernest. Yeah, I think we go cornerback. Rated at 30.2. Clint Ernest, the cornerback out of Penn State. Let's see what we get there. Oh, God. Okay. So not much has changed. Steven Romero's got a good rating. Do we go? I think we need to go with our scout here, given how bad it's been so far. So I think we lean defensively and go Earl Norris. And let's see what that looks like. 77. Okay. 77 overall, 83 tackling. I can live with that. Go to the next pick. Yeah, I kind of, hindsight being what it is, it would have been nice to take either the wide receiver it would have been nice to take that wide receiver at number 4. We should have probably just done that, but it is what it is. So, all right. So they desperately want us to take a running back, and Leonard Ventura looks to be the best option. 24-year-old out of Notre Dame. A lot of 24-year-olds. He's not very fast though, so he's more of a bruiser type. Excuse me. Tight end is a position of need. But I think 26.7. I think, okay, yeah, we'll go with Ventura. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. And he's a 76 overall. Great speed. Actually has really good speed. Okay. Really good speed. So maybe that means we move on from Swift. Next pick. We are now in the 3rd round. Got Robert Jackson still available. They want us to take William Herbert, the quarterback. They're already into undrafted, huh? A+ speed? I mean, I don't want to take him there, but maybe. I think I want to take that tight end, honestly. Robert Jackson, 22-year-old. I don't know, D speed's not good, but he's a 27.1 overall. Herman Solomon, yeah. I mean, Solomon, here's the thing. Jackson, we know more on. We know that this is what he is. D speed, C hands. It looks like he's pretty good. Or we can take a shot in the dark at someone like, who was it? Where was the other guy? Thomas Rosales it wasn't Rosales. I think it was the guy above Rosales. Herman Solomon, yeah. Herman Solomon out of Wake Forest. He's 24. A potential speed. I think I'm going to take a shot here. I think we're going to take a risk on Herman Solomon here in this 3rd round with that potential A speed and A+ hands. Yeah. That could end up being a bust. That could end up being a great pick. Let's see. 75 overall, 84 speed, 84 hands. I like it. I like it. That's a good pick for us. Next pick. Open the war room. They still want us to take Herbert, which I don't want to do. Ralph Christian is still there. James Bailey. I mean, do we take another shot at another wide receiver and another potential bust, or... I think so. James Bailey, the 23-year-old out of Ohio State, 6'2", 225. F tackling, but C speed, D- hands. 26.3 rating. Ralph Christian, D tackling out of a linebacker I hate. Billy Fonseca, D- tackling. Clay James rated at a 25. Jimmy McClure, 25.9. Juan Douglas. I think we go Juan Douglas, the 20-year-old out of Nebraska. C- tackling. He's not quick, but he's young. Not terrible. Not terrible. 81 tackling. 4th round. I think I want to take that quarterback. Unless he's gone. Is he gone? Yeah, somebody took him. Frank Miller, F speed, C- arm. William Melendez. Yeah, these guys, I mean, we have no idea what we're getting with these guys, so I think we hold off. Unless there's, I don't think we need to take any of those quarterbacks right now. All right, so they want us to take a quarterback. I don't want to take a quarterback, at least not one of those quarterbacks, maybe later in the draft. Jeffrey Spears. You don't know much. You don't know anything about him. B+ hands. You don't have a rating on him. Douglas Kelly at a 24. Meh. Let's go Clay James, I guess. Pick up another wide receiver. See what we get there. Yeah. I mean, great hands, but that's about it. Now we're in the 6th round. They want us to take a fullback. Christopher Dobson, A+ speed fullback. Yeah, I'm good with that. He's terrible, a 63 overall. It's an awful draft. All right. War Room, they want us to take a quarterback, which we will do here in the 7th. Just a matter of who. Speed A, arm C. That's not bad for Stafford. Melendez, D- speed, D- arm. Fitzgerald, A, arm, C- speed. Really, I'm looking to see if there's somebody who's got like an A and a B or something like that, with the off chance that those ratings are accurate. Because right now it's looking like Tyler Stafford. B speed, C arm, D-, F, F, D+, B speed, D- arm, A and F. So he's got the arm but no speed. F and F. F arm, A speed. And okay, so I think we are going to go Tyler. Was it Stafford? A speed, C arm from Tennessee. Yep, I think so. I mean, he's more than likely awful. 55 overall, yeah. And I think that's it for the draft. So an okay draft. It's a little disappointing, truth be told. Little disappointing. We get Leonard Ventura. Wasn't a bad pick in at the end of the 2nd round, 76 overall, 88 speed. Herman Solomon was a pretty good pick. Good tight end, good speed, good hands. Clay James, meh. Earl Norris, 2nd round pick, 77 overall. Thomas Goddard, our 1st round pick. I'm not thrilled with that. So we got a couple of decent players, but nothing really to write home about. We only have $3 million under the cap now, so we are going to have to move some of these contracts. I want to see if we can bring in one of those quarterbacks. I mean, the alternative is to wait and see if we can sign him for, $5 million once the season starts, but that's kind of shady. All right, so let's trade DeMonte Kazee. Is that who we want to trade? Let's start with Jameson Williams. Let's trade him to a team that has some cap space. Dallas Cowboys are going to want Jameson Williams, and they want him for a 2nd. A lot more. All right. What about a 3rd and a 4th? A lot more. What about just a 3rd? Feel this deal is close. All right, so a 4th and a 5th. A lot more, really. Okay, a 4th and a 6th. Feel this deal is close. It's a lot. I don't know. It's a lot to give up, man. That is a lot to give up, but that's also a wide receiver who isn't playing much, given that he's it's a lot of money. I think we hold on to him. For that. Where are we going to save some money? Man, I don't know. Jeff Okuda? I think Okuda is that pick. Team puts a trade over the trade puts a team over the salary cap. Okay. Now who's got some salary cap space? Anybody? How does nobody have any cap space? Literally nobody has any cap space. '49ers want Jeff Okuda, and they want to give us 2 second-round picks. They want to give us our second-round pick back. No, they don't. They want to give us a third and a fourth, though. Just a tad more. What about a third and a fifth? Okay. So that clears up $9 million. Juju Hughes is somebody we can move. Yeah, because we're paying a lot of money for Kazee, Evans, and Stone. He's 29. He's 31. We could probably trade them both. We can find a team that has cap space. It doesn't appear as though there are many teams with cap space. Dallas has cap space, so they can take Juju Hughes for, I don't know, a fifth and a sixth. Feel this deal is close. So we have 3 thirds, 2 fifths, a sixth, and a sixth. So let's do a fifth and a seventh. That'll probably be enough. Nope. Okay. What about a fifth and a seventh next year? No. What about just the fifth? Just a tad more. All right. So a sixth and a seventh then. Just a tad more. All right. Just give me the sixth and let's get this done. All right. So we need to find someone who has, what, $11 million in cap space? I don't think that exists. No, it doesn't exist. Does not exist. All right, but we now have some free agent money. We have $16 million in free agency, so that will allow us to potentially get something done. Like, I mean, I hate Deshaun Watson as a person. I think he's vile, but I mean, that's an option. The other option, of course, is Dak Prescott, who wants less. But again, we have, what, $18 million? 16.2 in order to bring him back. Or not to bring him back, but bring him in, I should say. Go after David Long. Get stronger at cornerback. Gardner Minshew, $22 million. Brady wants 11. I mean, Dak's I think the guy I would be looking at, but I mean, I have a feeling both of these players are going to be there. So I think I said that we can sign one player to that contract once we get to free agency. So I think that's going to be the one player. What do we have? Wide receiver wise. 81. Brandon Cooks. Gabe Davis wants a lot. DJ Moore wants a lot. Cooks doesn't want a ton. Juju Smith-Schuster. Michael Thomas. Like, well, yeah, I don't know. There's nothing that's really standing out for me. What do we got left at linebacker? Shaquille Barrett. Foyesade Oluokun. I just don't know that there's a lot that I want to do. I think I want to see if one of those quarterbacks makes it through and just sign one of them. So let's see what happens. So far, none of the quarterbacks have been signed. Still nothing. Yeah, they're all signing cheap contracts because nobody has any money. Nope, nobody has any money. All right, let's make sure our training is set. So we're running into that situation just like we ran into last year where nobody has any money. And long term, that's going to be a problem for me when it comes to continuing this save. We'll see how it works itself out here, but not signing any free agents because nobody has any money doesn't work for me. So, yeah, it just doesn't work for me. So let's advance through training camp. See what sorts of bumps we get. Thomas Goddard, he was our first round pick, so that's good. Robert Chang, our first round pick last year, is up to an 83. So that's not bad. I mean, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. So if we go now to free agents, we should be able to sign one of them for $4 million. Yeah, do we want Watson or do we want Prescott? I mean, I think we signed Deshaun Watson. Bring in Deshaun Watson, and I think we are going to call it there, guys. So, yeah, the draft was okay. It wasn't terrible. Could have been better. I think trading down ultimately was a mistake, but Deshaun Watson could be a mentor. I think ultimately it was a mistake, but we were able to fill in. We were able to fill in our draft with some talent. I mean, we have some players that are going to be pretty good. Thomas Goddard was our number one pick, 80 strength, 71 speed defensive end. Earl Norris was a nice pickup. So was Juan Douglas with that tackling. So another couple linebackers with over 80 tackling. The Cliff Ernest draft was pretty bad. Hopefully he can develop. I'm happy with Herman Solomon. Probably lets us move on from Hawkinson, frankly. Given those ratings, he's a decent enough pass blocker. Leonard Ventura. So, I mean, it wasn't a terrible draft, but no studs. No studs. From last season, we've got Hinkle, who's our starting guard. Maurice Jones. Charlie Fagan, who we signed as well. So we could probably run Fagan and Solomon next season. Chang was our top pick. He's up to an 83 overall. Casey Jones is 76 overall. So, I mean, that might mean the end of, an Aiden Hutchinson if he doesn't continue to develop. He's not as good as the defensive end that we just drafted. So Hutchinson, I think, becomes that bench player. Trey Lance, maybe moving on from him since we now have Deshaun Watson in the fold. So some of our young players, I mean, we're a really young team. Look at all these players in their first or second season. So, yeah, we'll see how it goes. Contract-wise, we are not in terrible shape. Lance's contract is up. We'll probably move him. Hawkinson, 93 hands, 76 speed. Probably move on from him. Save some money there. Hutchinson is another contract that can get moved. Kazee is likely he's down to an 89. He's probably getting moved. So we've got some talent. We've got some players. I don't expect this year to be great, although with Deshaun Watson under center, who knows? It could end up being a better year for us. We'll see how it goes. We've got until week 8 to make those decisions, but those decisions will be made next time. So, guys, I appreciate you watching, and I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.